Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Lord of the Rings: The Battle for Middle-earth. We are now at the Good Factions unit. First we start with Gondor, and let's see what does Gondor have in defense against the evils of Sauron and Saruman. Well, we start with the basics. The Gondor barracks costs 300 to build. It can train soldiers and tower guards, melee foot soldiers of Gondor. At rank 1 it is 3000 HP, and from rank 2 onwards it provides plus 25% faster build speed, and then rank 3 50% faster build speed. Now Gondor barracks is like something that must be built. I mean, like the cavalry capabilities, or rather the cavalry options for Gondor isn't that strong in a way. The riders, the knights are quite decent, but still the main force, the main strength of the Gondor lies in its soldiers, its armored soldiers. So we have got the Gondor soldiers. They cost 100 resources to be built, or rather to be trained, and takes 10 commands per battalion. So yeah, it's quite a low number, and we can field quite a number of these Gondor soldiers. Not in skirmish, unfortunately, only 200. But anyway, it's strong against bowmen, weak against cavalry, monsters, and heroes. And the production speed is quite alright. It's like 30 seconds. So it's not exactly very long wait. But like, okay, that's like the lowest waiting time already. I don't think anyone of the troop production is below 30 seconds. Like, not even in the evil faction. So 30 seconds, it's fine. It's strong against bowmen, just like the Uruk-hai is strong against the bowmen, and the mortal orc warriors are good against bowmen as well. Ah, just in time. Yeah, they exit from this door here, and I like the design in the sense that, you know, this patrolling guard is constantly moving from one guard position to another, and it makes it feel alive, you know, like this building, it feels alive, and there is activities going on. And of course we see a shield here, and it looks different. This shield is obviously smaller than this shield somehow. Maybe the tower guard's shield might be of this size, and I think the pikes here, of course, probably refers to the tower guard's one. Gondor soldiers though, they wield shields and swords, and they start with 100 health. They share the same health pool as banners, but only starting from rank 2, of course, because rank 1 there's none. And for Gondor soldiers, they have got formations, plus 25% armor and minus 40% speed in block formation. So more armor for lesser speed. I prefer the mobility for Gondor soldiers instead of the armor, but still, when they do reach their enemies or their adversaries, you can switch their formation to make them last a little longer on the front lines, but I don't think they will be able to survive a retreat. The Gondor soldiers' shields look really impressive here, as you can see. The white tree emblem is emblazoned or carved or chiseled into the shield. I presume this is a metal shield, right? So yeah. And the swords, they don't seem to sheath their swords though, even though we leave them in their idle mode. For barracks though, the white tree is here, so pretty cool. Yeah. But that's a rank 1. A rank 2 barrack is slightly different, as you can see from here. Yeah, it's got this extra wall here that makes it a lot better looking, because it looks more defensive, you know, like the entrance is now only this little gap here. It looks way more impressive with these walls like that. Very defensive, gives a good sense of security. More importantly, a rank 2 barracks is 4500 HP compared to the rank 1 at 3000. And not only that, 25% faster build speed, and allows us to train the Gondor tower guard. So let's train it. Well, it says it's a Gondor's elite defensive unit, but I would think that the tower guard acts as the pikemen counterpart to Isengard's pikes, you know, so or the soldiers of Rune. So this is like the pikes of Gondor. Indeed, if you charge cavalry like warg riders into a group of tower guards, be sure that they will be exterminated within seconds, in fact upon contact, so don't try doing that. And also, yeah, for Gondor soldiers, they have groups of 5, so it's not like Isengard's groups of 10 or the Orcs groups of 10, it's like the Haradrim's groups of 5. And then they also have guard formation, but firstly, you look at these, oh wait, hang on. They take 32 seconds to train. I'm not sure if that is after the 25% discount, which would have put them at 45 seconds. But anyways, they have 160 health to begin. Still, their banners are gonna be at 120 at rank 2. Now, let's go to the formation. They do have the shield wall formation, which is plus 80% armor, but minus 75% speed. So they are very, very slow. Look at that. They are very, excruciatingly slow. But with the shield wall, they are very potent against cavalry, or basically anything. Plus 80% defense is a lot of defense, or rather armor. Yeah, it's a lot of armor. But this is gonna make them more susceptible to artillery fire, because like, you know, artillery is good against infantry or something like that. So we gotta be careful with that.
Defenders of the White Tree.
Look at their shields though. Yeah, that's probably the same one as that one on display here. Yeah. It's hard to see their armor when in active mode, but in passive mode you can see the armor better. They look pretty impressive. Unfortunately, a group of 5 is really not as cool as like maybe a group of 10. Anyway, yeah, this is a rank 2 barracks, and there's still the patrolling person. I am just a little upset that they added the towers at rank 3 and blocked off the patrolling person. If only the patrolling person kind of peeks up from these towers though, like, you know, it would have been so cool, like looking out from the towers, like from these battlements. But then again, that would put them at danger or in danger of enemy range units. In exchange for that, we do have very impressive towers here, so that's something. And also 2 more flags on those towers. So anyway, yeah, so there we have it, the tower guards, Gondor's elite defensive unit. But sure, they are very, very defensive. Indeed, very defensive. They take a lot more hits to be taken down per soldier. And they're tankier too at 160, so that's a lot more than the 100 at rank 1 for each. They both share the same upgrades: swords, armor, and banners. Okay, but they can't train against each other, so we can only get the upgrades. And for Gondor, their upgrade come from the Gondor blacksmith. Yeah, we have already shown the construction of the blacksmith, so I don't really have to show it again. But it reduces the cost of upgrades from 10% at 2 blacksmiths. For the upgrades though, we get the banner upgrade, the banner carrier, which is 600 resources to research. Requires a rank 2 blacksmith, so note that we can't get these upgrades as soon as we start a mission. If the units are not upgraded, we have to wait for the blacksmith to reach rank 2. It levels rank 1 units up to rank 2, that's all. So let's purchase this one. Then we've got the heavy armor upgrade, costs 1000 to research, also requires rank 2. Same for the swords, it's all rank 2 blacksmith. This one provides 60% armor, so like I think I have mentioned before in Isengard episode that armor is relative because they do increase in armor per level of the battalion, so it's relative to the levels as compared to a hard limit like plus 10 armor. No, it's a percentage. So as they get higher on ranks, this upgrade becomes more useful for them. Now for Forge Blade upgrade, it is 800 resources and it gives a 50 damage bonus. Just straight up 50 damage. So if it is 10 damage at rank 1, that is 50 plus 10, 60 damage. Something like that. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, getting these upgrades do give the blacksmith experience. So if it's not rank 3 yet, you can get this, which will also bring it up to rank 3 and thereby giving us more resources, like you can see here is 20. So now with those upgrades, we can then purchase the upgrades from here. 360 for Forged Blades, no, it is 400. But because of a 10% discount, that's a 40 discount. So 360 plus 50 damage, let's get it. Now, Heavy Armor, again, it's 400 resources without the discount of 10%. So we should get that too. Okay, you can see that now the blades turn blue, which is pretty cool. It's a blue glow, and that's very impressive. But I don't like this armor upgrade. It doesn't look gold, you know? It just looks... It's similar to a film representation that's recently released. The Rings of Power, the Numenorians, I believe. They have this armor. It looks like this armor, in a way. But in this game, though, it doesn't look as good. I think this is a lion emblem on the chest plate, but it just looks like a skeleton. You know, this design. It looks like a skeleton. I don't like it. I prefer the unupgraded one, which we'll get to show again. But let's bring them up to level 2. Banner carrier upgrade costs 300 without the discounts, but with a discount it's 270.
I carry the banner for Gondor.
The banner though, this banner carrier, you can see here is 120 at rank 2, and that's compared to 180 for rank 2 Tower Guard. But this difference isn't as much as compared to the Walk Rider's banner carrier, which is 1/3 of a Walk Rider's HP. Right, okay, now you see here, this one, okay? It looks so much better, okay? This armor looks way better than this armor. If this is swapped, it would have been nice. Too bad it's not. Yeah, I don't like this. If it's more glowy though, well, that would be a different story altogether. But no, it's not glowy. It's just very dull and looks like skeletons. For the Gondor soldiers, we can get the upgrades for Forge Blades, and they cost the same thing. So with the discount, it's good, and if we have got like 30% discount, it's really good. So the blades, they do turn blue as well, and they just get 50 damage enhancement. And for their armor, just a little better. I don't know, it reminds me of like some kind of a statue thingy on the chest plate, like a nose bridge, a very obvious nose bridge and eyes and whatnot. It doesn't look as good as the original armor plate, which is a little less detailed, but I think it looks actually equally bad. I would say the Tower Guard's armor looks better. But if you were to look from afar, it's not that bad. But anyways, they do have the banner carrier here. And that's the standard of Gondor, which is like the white tree, I think, here. And a little bit of like stars and whatnot. Same for the Tower Guard. Now with the upgrades done, we want to then talk about the archery range. 300 resources to build and train and upgrade archers, of course, right? Archers, Gondor archers, so it's pretty straightforward. Not crossbow, not lancers. I mean, Mordor orc archers are archers. I'm just picking on things right now. But anyways, we have the archery range for the Gondor, and it's built in parts again, and it looks really cool. Like, part by part, it rises up from the ground, and you can see it getting composed. I really hope this is a design process that the designers have gone through. Like, you know, when they think about the design, it's like that. Okay, they first think of this part, the targeting part, then they think of the walls, and then the towers and whatnot. And we can see that the archers are training here, but this person here seems to be a Gondor soldier, not a Gondor archer. Firstly, the Gondor archery range, 3000 HP at rank 1, and then 25% rank 2, 50% rank 3, fast build speed, alright? And we have got the Gondor archers at 300 resources, 15 command points per battalion, strong against cavalry and monsters, weak against swordsmen and heroes. And when they are strong against monsters, they're really strong. So let's train a group of them. These costs 30 seconds to train, so they're on the same speed as a Gondor soldier group, so have them both exit together. You have two groups of 5, which can then be immediately combined to make a strong group of 10, which can put up quite a defense against the enemies. Now for the Gondor archers, they have formation. Which formation? Plus 25% damage, but minus 50% armor. They aren't very armor full, you know, they're not exactly tanky. But their HP is quite decent, 80, compared to the orcs, which I think start at 50. This will reduce the armor by half, kinda unwise, but they get extra damage. I don't really think we wanna like manager formations. Line formation, still the better option, lesser micromanagement if anything. They've got heavy armor upgrade available to them, as well as the fire arrows that I've been raving about, but it's currently unavailable because we haven't researched yet, as well as, the banner carry upgrade at 270. So again, this is 400 without discount, this is 300 without discount. Fire arrows, well, no matter how good it is, it requires a rank 2 archery range, which is quite the bother, because like, why are you locking research behind a rank 2 building? So if we have got everything, like our command points are fully filled up, that just means that that upgrade just no longer becomes available anymore. Like we will never be able to upgrade any additional groups of archers we add unless there is enough for us to get the archery range to rank 2 again to research the fire arrow upgrades. I think that's not a very good design here. Locking research behind losing units, behind performing badly, you know, it just doesn't feel right. Like, okay, fine if it's a rank 2 blacksmith, it gains EXP as it generates resources, so eventually it will reach rank 2 and the upgrades will become available for research. But anyways, enough complaints about that. We do get the fire arrow upgrade because we have a rank 2 barracks here. It costs 1,200 resources to research and gives a flat plus 15 damage upgrade. But not only that, it also gives fire damage to the archers. So now the archers will deal plus 15 damage extra on top of their base damage and extra fire damage to whoever's susceptible to fire damage. On top of this fire arrow upgrade, okay, let's get it done first. You see, yeah, the level goes up like that. Okay, the level goes up to here. So EXP, no, not level, sorry, EXP. Now we can get also the Gondor ranges 500 resources to train and costs 15 command points. It's strong against cavalry monsters, weak against swordsman heroes. Now, so this is the rank 1. You can see these targets and whatnot, okay? And ready soldiers just exit from this entrance here. Now at rank 2, you can see a little bit of difference here. There's some spikes here, some statues or whatever here. I think it's more of adornment because it doesn't really block out a lot, so it's not exactly like going to block out the enemies. But what is more important is that the wall here, okay, it looks a lot more defensive as compared to these thin walls here. All right. Meanwhile, for rank 3, here we go. You can see comparison to a rank 2. There's one more arch here. I guess this is to make it a little more difficult for the archers when they're training, you know, like make them more skillful. They don't really become more skillful though, unfortunately. So they don't get trained at rank 2 like the Mumakil pen, you know. They still get trained as rank 1. Yeah, other than that, we have an additional tower. And there is a statue of a Gondor archer on the top of this tower here. Oh wait, one more. More archers, like archers. Archers for the archers. Now, back to these ranges. They have got skirmish formation, which gives them extra 25% damage and minus 50% armor. But before that,
Keep your heads down.
this is how they look like. Alright, how about the archers? The archers' armor looks alright, I guess. Yeah, better than the soldiers' one. Although it's actually the same thing, just with a quiver strung over its back. With a quiver belt, it does look a little better. The Rangers though, it's quite indiscernible what exactly is here. It looks pretty dimly lighted, so I can't really see it. But yeah, it's got the skirmish formation, more damage and lesser armor, just like these. Also the same thing, but it's a different name, that's all. It's got fire arrows though, and the banner carrier upgrade. So let's look at the upgrades first, starting with the archers. And we can look at the differences. Yeah, now with this, it's pretty much the same thing as that of the Gondor soldiers, but with the quiver belt it does look a lot more sophisticated, and you can see the flames on the arrows too. Apparently it's always lit. And of course the Gondor banner, despite the battalion soldiers getting upgraded, the banner carrier's armor remains the same. Do you notice that it's a little different? This fan thing looks a lot bigger as compared to this one over here. Kind of strange, doesn't it? Could it be the scaling or something? I don't know, it looks a little bigger. And also, you see that for this one, for the banner carrier, okay, this is the Gondor soldier, okay? You can see that it holds a sword, it wields a sword. Same for this one, okay? It wields a sword for the Gondor soldiers. And same for this one too, for the Gondor archers. It wields the sword. But uniquely for this one, okay, it's the ranger's outfit. Still wields a sword, but it's the ranger outfit, okay? So that's the difference here too. And another unique thing about these rangers are that they become invisible, so you can't really see them when they're in the forest. Unless they start shooting, then they become visible, obviously. Otherwise, they can permanently hide in here and it'll be breaking the game, right? Make them leave. You see that? Yeah. There's a orange glow and then they become permanently visible outside until they enter the forest again. And also, if you notice, right, the cape of the banner carrier is a little different. Like there's the white tree on the banner carrier, and same goes for these, okay?
Did you hear something?
There's a few combinations. The ranger can be combined with the Gondor soldiers. Okay? So that's one combination. The ranger can also be combined with this one, the tower guards.
Defenders, ready your weapons. Keep on your guard.
The third combination would be the tower guard with the archers.
Stay together, men. Defenders of the White Tree.
They lose their ability to change formation, so.
Forward. Take this area.
And finally, archers with the Gondor soldiers.
Positions, men.
Oh, and if we were to combine the rangers with the tower guards or the Gondor soldiers, they just lose their ability to become invisible in the trees, amongst the trees, okay? See? Well, can Gondor mount a mounted fighting force though? It does have the stable, the Gondor stable, 80 resources to build, and it builds the knights. Also provides upgrade for the knights. Stable is 3000 HP at rank 1, and at rank 2 it becomes 25% faster build speed, and then rank 3 that's 50% faster build speed. Again, we can see the construction of the stable part by part, bit by bit.
Tell the knights their stable is ready.
And this horse is always spinning and spinning here. For whatever reason, I don't know what this is driving. Is it like a horse training device? Like, you know, make it walk, like automatically walk the horse so that they get their exercises in or something? I guess so. That's the rank 1, right? And we have got the rank 2 stable over here, which is a lot more impressive with the walls here. So it looks very cool and feels very secure, like a good sense of security given that these walls are around here, so the horses are less susceptible to enemy fire. And there's a little gate here that is useless. No one's walking in through the gate here, nor this gate of course, nor this one here. At rank 3 we've got this. So obviously there's a tower, but if we were to pay attention, we can see that there's actually a flag here. Okay, so that's additional detail to the stables. But anyways, we get to train the Gondor Knight at not 560 but rather 800. Well, there is a discount according to the number of farms we have in the kingdom, and we've got more than 6 farms, so that's a 30% discount, making this amount the 70%, so each is 80, right? Every 10% is 80, so that's 800. 20 command points, so that means we can only field up to 10 groups here in the skirmish mode. It's strong against the swordsmen and weak against pikemen and bowmen. Of course weak against pikemen, but I still don't get why it's weak against bowmen. Maybe because they fall off horses easily and they're not as likely to be able to dodge arrows because they are a bigger target, since the arrows can either hit them or hit the horses, so I guess that does make a little bit of sense. I don't prefer fielding Gondor Knights in combat because they're not as easily preserved, even if they have got the good mobility, because they are groups of 5 as well. Yeah, anyway, they don't exit from the door here, they exit from the side, the stables here, which is kind of nice, you know, like people walk in through the doors, but the horses exit through this. In terms of looks though, they are just the Gondor soldiers, but mounted, without their shields. It's unfair, isn't it? Like, hey, you as a Gondor soldier has got your shield. Why are you suddenly shieldless when you mount a horse? Is it because you can't carry shields? No, we can't get shields from here. Look, we have got the Knight Shield upgrade. Costs 1000 resources and gives a plus 80% armor to the Gondor Knight. On top of being able to get the Forged Blades at plus 50 damage and the heavy armor, which is another 60% armor. Yeah, the shield is here, and then we have got the banner carrier that gives them the rank. If they're at rank 1, goes to rank 2. I don't think they compound though, so it's like it's a plus 140% on whatever base armor that they have at their particular rank. But still, that's something. However, it requires a rank 2 stable, and if we're at full command points and we freshly built the stable, or somehow, you know, like, yeah, we just built a stable because we got Gondor Knights, which we did in one of the missions previously, we're gonna be stuck with Gondor Knights without the shield. Very unfair. Why are you shieldless when as a Gondor soldier you have a shield? This is obviously the Gondor soldier, okay? Before that, the wedge formation plus 25% damage, minus 25% armor. Hey, what a joke. As if the lack of shield is not enough. You make us choose to have lesser armor for more damage, and then this damage is useless when running into pikes. Yeah, right. Anyway, so we do get the shield upgrade. Finally, 1000 resources to research. Get the upgrades. So again, that's 360 for the Forged Blades instead of 400, and 360 for the armor instead of 400. The shield is 180 instead of 200. Now you can see that they have got glowing swords. Looks a lot cooler. They've got this not as good armor. It does look like eyes here, a nose and a mouth, you know. Of course, it's not gonna be a Gondor soldier walking around while the rest are riding on horses, so this is on a horse too. It's anyway just a Gondor soldier, or Gondor soldier's bannerman on a horse, that's all. But still, yeah, looks pretty impressive. The horse does look cool, yeah.
Be careful.
And now let's get the shield upgrade. I just don't like how it locks the shield behind the rank 2 stable. Ta-dang! There goes the shield. And it's the same shield as that of this one. Just that now they're mounted, that's all. And the shield seems to look a little bigger on the horse. Maybe not. Yeah, looks a little taller, the shields, compared to these, okay? But not as impressive as the shield here, though. These Tower Guard shields are a lot more impressive. Okay, and I cut forward. Why? It's not the end for the Gondor Knights. We have these soldiers here. Why? Because not the archers or the rangers, but these soldiers can be combined with the Gondor Knights. Isn't that kind of interesting?
Rally together, knights.
So now we've got the knights riding behind these melee soldiers, but not archers. I don't know why we need such a combination though. What benefit does this have? Anyway, we can combine the Tower Guards too with the knights. And then what? What do you do with such a combination? Except that they look kind of funny while walking, like waddling around. And cut. Finally, one last thing for the Gondor is that we need a siege, right? I mean, you got your walls, you know that you might need to deal with walls. So, how do you deal with walls? Well, you need siege. So, we have got the siege Gondor workshop. Builds and upgrades trebuchets. So, here we go. 2,000 resources to build. And has got 3,000 HP at rank 1. Rank 2 onwards, 25%. Faster build speed, rank 3, 50%. Now look at this get built from the ground up. Starts with the walls and then the details of those walls. Then one side of the tower before the other side. You know, if anything, they could have been just a little lazier and just have both towers rise out together, but no, one after the other, which is really cool, I think. And then the arch, you know, instead of like, okay, just wait a little while all of them rise up together, no, it's one after the other. It's really, really cool.
The new workshop is ready.
But anyway, the Gondor workshop allows us to train or build Gondor trebuchets at 1,080 resources. Nah, it's 1,200. There's a discount by the number of blacksmiths we have. Since we have got 2 blacksmiths, that's 10%, which is 120. 5 command points, strong against siege equipment and structures, weak against infantry, cavalry, monsters, and heroes. The Gondor trebuchet, I think it's not as wieldy as that of the Mordor catapult, but still is pretty impressive, given that it does deal quite a bit of damage. Yeah, and the good thing, the nice thing, is that, you know, they appear in the courtyard before being pushed out of the courtyard, and that's a really nice addition. But once again, it suffers from the same fate as that of the Gondor shield and the fire arrows, in that we need a rank 2 building to upgrade this firestone, or research this firestone upgrade. Costs 800 plus 200 damage. It's a lot of damage, but it's locked behind a rank 2. And sometimes when we have full command, we have no way to get this to rank 2. But then again, it's fine to sacrifice these trebuchets, 400 HP. They're very weak against monsters and cavalry, right? Whatever. But yeah, send this into the enemy lines, get it destroyed, and then build a new one until it gets to rank 2. It's 5 command points though, so yeah, we gotta leave the 5 command points available for the trebuchets. So unless we're up against Gondor or Rohan, their castles I mean, there is no reason to get these trebuchets. Just have our soldiers pull back when injured and then heal up at the wells, and have very highly experienced soldiers fighting on the front lines, and that's all. Our bases can defend itself, but still, if we want to choose to have the trebuchets, know that this upgrade is behind a rank 2 workshop. Now we got halt fire here, we got bombardment, which is like attack round, okay? But I want to show the bombardment later with the firestone upgrade. So let's firstly go to look at the rank 2 building. Okay, this is rank 1, right? We have already discussed this in detail. Now the rank 2 is here, so let's look at this one first. I'm sorry it's not side by side, but you know, this is pretty much the same thing, just that the walls are a little more defined now and thicker now. And then we got additional domes atop the towers over there as compared to these. Rank 2 allows us to get the firestone upgrade already. Cost 800 to research this, so let's get it. Now rank 3, the walls do look a little bigger. I don't know if that was just me, but it looks a little bit bigger. And also we got 2 towers here. 2 towers and flags atop the domes of these 2 towers, and domes are more pronounced as well. Now let's roll this out, and note that it does friendly fire, so do not have it fire into our ranks, okay? Bombard the floor. There we go. There's no burning, but there's still a black charred mark on the floor. Really strange there, but whatever. This is the animation of the Gondor trebuchet. While we do the research, it's 450 to research. Well, no, not exactly. We have got the blacksmith, so it's actually 500 to research. Yeah.
Release!
Yeah, looks a lot more impressive. Looks even more impressive when shooting at somewhere further. Whee! Look at that. And imagine having a few of these things firing at the same time. That would look quite impressive. Okay, we can just use the S key to tell them to stop, or we can just make them move. And they still do that animation, but they will not fire, alright? So that's something interesting. And then we can stop them from automatically acquiring targets. Yeah, I think that's all there is to this. We don't have to see the trebuchet against the enemy. It's pretty much just lobbing projectiles against the enemies. Instead of fighting an enemy soldier or whatever, let's have this fight against the wargs. Okay, so yep, 1 hit, and then it does friendly fire on, aerial effect on the warg lair as well. It's from afar, so the wargs will not be attracted. So you can see that 3 hits and the warg lair will be down. Okay, this is getting a little close. I'm just worried that the warg might... it's down already. Now the warg is not gonna patrol, so we can take out the warg. There we go. 1 hit. It's very, very strong against enemy buildings. Alright, that's it. That's it for the featurette for Gondor soldiers or Gondor forces. And yeah, I still don't know what use is there for the melee soldiers with the Gondor Knights. But anyway, I think I haven't missed out anything. I hope I haven't missed out anything. I hope I didn't make any mistakes in these information sharing. And I hope you found this episode helpful, useful, informative. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Tell me if I missed out anything. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.